Hi guys, welcome back to Chess the Matthew. So on this video we will tackle about a trap which is the so-called Siberian trap from the Sicilian defense of Smith-Morra Gambit variation. So the trap start with the Sicilian opening after e4, c5 and d4, and after c6 d4. So we will enter now the Smith-Morra Gambit variation after c3. But here after knight f3, we can actually go back for a traditional Sicilian defense with the open variation. So here after c3, the Smith-Morra Gambit. Here after d takes c3, knight takes c3, the white here sacrifice a pawn for a cost of development. And here the black here will simply place the move knight c6, knight f3, just developing some pieces to control the center also. And after e6 and bishop c4, we shall see in this position that the white here has three pieces that actually developed on this position and ready to castle in the future, but with a deposit pawn from sacrificing it from c3. So here the black here can simply place the move queen to c7 with an idea of an indirect attack on bishop to c4, and after a castle here and knight f6, a developing move. Here the white has many choices on this position, whether to play the move h3 or even the aggressive move which is knight to b5. But here if the white will simply place the move queen e2, which is actually a slow move, because after the move knight to g4, it allows now the Siberian trap after a bad move of white by playing the move h3. So this is actually a bad move after h3 because it gives black here to have many attacking chances after, for example, this h3, a bad move. It allows now the black here to go for his idea after the move knight d4. The idea of knight to d4 is actually to exchange with this knight because it is the only defender here to knight h2. And here, for example, if the white here will just capture the knight on g4, but he will lost his queen on e2. So here, after h3 and capture the another knight on d4, but we shall see on this position that this knight doesn't control down the h2 square, so it's already now a checkmate after queen h2 checkmate. The queen cannot be captured because it was supported by the knight. So going back here, if the white here will stop that idea after the move knight to g4, but the black here has a simple move after a6, intending to play the move b5, and after the move a prophylactic move bishop b3, bishop c5, again developing a piece, and after bishop g5, b5, rook c1, d6, queen d2, and bishop b7, we shall see in this position that the black here has a fast development and still having the pawn advantage, in which a gambited pawn on the c3 will be not in a realistic for an exchange of rapid development because the black here can now simply castle having a pawn on his pocket, and again the follow-up of the white are already neutralized because after, for example, rapid development, the white here actually should goes for an attack and stop the black to castle so that he will be stranded on the center, and again to have a winning chances for white perspective. So another here, there's also a knight b5 move for white to attack the queen, and after, for example, queen b8, maintaining those threat after the move knight to g4, and here after e5, stopping that idea, blocking the diagonal of queen to b8, and after knight takes, queen takes e5, rook e1, attacking the queen. We shall see in this position that the black here has two pawns up, and after, for example, queen c5, b3, depending the bishop, and after the move a6, attacking this knight, and bishop a3, queen c6, knight d6, giving a check. So for example, after a capture, bishop capture, we shall see in this position that even though the white here loses two pawns on this position, but the white here is in the success to stop this king to castle and to put this king into safety. And after, for example, b5, bishop e2, bishop b7, bishop f3, and queen b6, and rook to c1. So we shall see again that the white hair managed to stop the black king to have a king safety, and even for just a cost of 2 pawns. So another, for example, after the move knight to g4, the defense against the trap on this position is actually not going for a trap after the move h3 move, but instead to sidestep to the trap and place the move knight b5, attacking the queen. For example, after the move queen b8, maintaining that threat of checkmate after the move knight to d4 or knight to e5, but there's just h3, and after, for example, h5. But this knight is a poison one because, for example, if white will capture that pawn and after this move, and for example here, and there's checkmate on h2. So after h5, the white here will probably stop that ideas after g3, and after, for example, knight to e5 captures bishop f4 to pin the knight, and after a6 attacking the knight, knight d4, bishop d6, bishop a3, h4, rook a d1, h takes g3, f takes g3, and again sacrificing another pawn after rook takes, just for the idea after, for example, queen g2, rook h8, knight f3, trying to pressure the diagonal of f4 to d8, and after, for example, f6 defending the knight, but there's just a simple captures, and queen g4 attacking the g7 pawn, and after, for example, queen f7 and rook to h1, we shall see on this position that the white can afford to exchange the active rook, a black, and leaving the black here with sleeping pieces on the queen side.